Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's your real estate advisor, Patricia Omishakin with 𝒦𝗏𝒏 Realtors here in the Murfreesboro, Tennessee area. Today, I am going to be talking about the pros and cons of living in Smyrna, Tennessee. So have you been thinking about relocating to Middle Tennessee and perhaps have been looking in the Smyrna, Tennessee area? Well, I am here today to tell you a little bit more, to give you a little bit more insight about the pros and cons of living in Smyrna. I will start with con number one, and that is the traffic. For the past few years, Middle Tennessee has seen a huge growth in number of people that have been relocated into this area. So as a result, traffic has increased tremendously. Right now, the city of Smyrna, or the town of Smyrna, is working on widening the main thoroughfare in Smyrna, Tennessee, the main road, and that's called Sam Ridley. It is currently a 2-lane road, and they're going to widen it and make it 4 lanes. So a lot of traffic that goes through Sam Ridley due to all the construction, and sometimes there's road closures and you don't know which road is going to be closed off. So it can be quite a bit of a hassle trying to get through from point A to point B on Sam Ridley. I often opt to use Rock Springs Road, which is pretty much parallel to Sam Ridley. And I just use that back road and it pretty much gets me to most places I need to go, because I try to avoid Sam Ridley as much as possible, unless if I do use Sam Ridley, I will be using it because I don't have a choice, or I am on the road during an off-peak time when there's less traffic. So that is one thing to note, that if you do move to the area and will be using Sam Ridley, you should learn the traffic patterns. On to con number 2. Con number 2 is the bugs. The bugs stink. I hate the bugs, and so do my family. Every few years or so, there's always some new bug that seems to come out that I've never heard of before, and it becomes a huge nuisance. I know one year there was something called the cicadas, and I don't know if they're still around, but yeah, I typically don't stay outside that much, and neither do my kids. We had a pretty bad experience with the bugs one time. I remember my kids were younger. We were driving down the road. I think we were going to the grocery store or something, and I just heard this loud scream, yell from the back of the car, and I'm like, what in the world just happened? You know, so I glance back and I see my son basically like this plastered to the back of the seat, and he was not moving his head left or right, and there was something buzzing by his ear, and he was freaked out and he was yelling. So I immediately pulled over to, thankfully there was a turning lane, and you know, I'm using one hand to try to swat whatever it was out of the window, and then I'm using my other hand to roll up the window back and down and try to see if I could force it out. Eventually it flew away, but yeah, ever since that moment, we don't ride around in a car with the windows down. We learned our lesson. So to this day, my son, he still to this day, my son still has bad memories about that experience. So on to con number 3. Number 3 is allergies. That's another biggie. I don't have any issues with allergies. I'm pretty fine. Nothing seems to bother me. But my son, on the other hand, he is allergic to trees and grass. So he has seasonal allergies. He plays soccer. He's always outside. And it never fails. Every year during the springtime, he has to use his inhaler, or ends up having to get a breathing treatment. So The allergies are pretty bad, so much so that I actually had a very good friend of mine had to relocate his entire family because one of his kids got really sick, had a severe reaction, and ended up in the hospital. So if you have allergies, that's something to think about. My number 4 is the weather. The weather in Smyrna can be rather bipolar, and that's probably most of Tennessee, Middle Tennessee as a whole. But I mean, one day it's nice, sunny, beautiful, nice day. The very next day, it is just complete opposite. And you're thinking, what just happened? One day it's spring weather, the next day is winter weather. You just don't know what you're going to get. The weather can never seem to make up its mind. Also, we tend to have some natural disasters here. We have had floods, we have had storms, we've had tornadoes. So those are the cons about the weather. Which leads me to my pros. For pro number 1 is also the weather. What I do like about the weather in Smyrna, Tennessee is that you get all 4 seasons. I can't say that I love all 4, but I will say that I do love spring. I like being able to, when I'm in my office, look outside the window and I can see the flowers blooming. It just brings like hope, feelings of hope. I just feel alive. And then I also like fall, when you see the leaves falling off the tree. I guess kind of summer is my favorite-ish, summer, fallish. But I also enjoy winter because of once in a while we do get snow, and mainly because of fashion. I like to wear my boots in the wintertime. So I love boots. I love that. My fashion doesn't have to be the same. It doesn't have to be boring, wearing the same things throughout the year. I get to change it up since we get to experience all 4 seasons. So the weather is a pro, is the con, but it's also a pro. Number 2 is we have great jobs in Smyrna, Tennessee. Smyrna, Tennessee is home to Nissan, North America. That's probably the top employee in Smyrna. In addition to that, though, we have Asurion, which is a wireless company. We also have TriStar Stonecrest Medical Center. That's the hospital that's in Smyrna, and that employs a lot of the residents here in the Smyrna, Tennessee area. So that's another pro about living in this area, that Middle Tennessee as a whole, the industry is mainly healthcare, but there's a lot of IT, there's a lot of manufacturing, so there's great opportunity for work. Pro number 3 about living in Smyrna, Tennessee is that we have great schools. We have at least, I believe it's 4 or 5 schools that have a rating of 7 and higher. If you go to the greatschools.com website, it gives you the grades for each school. We also have a couple of private schools that go all the way through 12th grade. Another great thing about education here in Smyrna is that we have a community college. It's called 𝒦𝗏𝗏 Community College, and it offers different degrees. I know that the nursing degree in particular is very popular, but they also have degrees in business, marketing, different backgrounds. Pro number 4 is entertainment. I love living here in Smyrna due to the fact that there is a variety of things that we can do to entertain our family. Not to mention the parks. We have, I believe, 10 or 11, maybe 12 now parks here in Smyrna alone. And the parks come with trails, they come with greenery, greenways, they have, you can hike. In addition to the parks, we have different things for entertainment. We have a bowling center, we have Stars and Strikes Family Center, we have a skating rink, we have a movie theater, we have a shopping center, we also have a golf course. And something that was added in the last few years was the Smyrna Outdoor Adventure Center. It's kind of like a discovery center. I think that's what it's called. There's one in Murfreesboro that kids love. So this one has like a splash pad. It has a swimming pool. It's a lot of fun for kids. So in Smyrna, there's enough fun for everyone. On to pro number 5. I love living in Smyrna because it is very family oriented. That is actually one of the main reasons I moved here. I've been living here going on 6 years now, and before that, because it's family oriented. I love my community. Everyone is friendly. I like that it's pretty quiet, which I like quiet neighborhoods and established neighborhoods. So that's one of the great things about living in Smyrna. It feels like a tight-knit community. Everyone is pretty friendly. It's hard for you to walk, and you'll see people walking their dogs, or exercising, and they're always going to smile or wave to you. So that's something I really love about being in Smyrna. And also the fact that it's nestled in between two major cities. We're only 18 miles from Nashville, so if you get bored with being in Smyrna and want to do something that's completely different, you have easy access to Nashville, which is the biggest city. The next closest big city is Nashville, and that's about 18 miles, so it probably takes you less than 20 minutes to get there. Or you can head, I'm really bad with directions, west is Nashville, or you can head east and go to Murfreesboro, and that's only 11 minutes away. And again, there's tons of things there to entertain you. So to wrap up, those are my main pros and cons. Thank you for watching, and I will be sure to make more videos about living in Smyrna. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments. Leave them in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you, and welcome to Smyrna.